Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Shri Radha Golokananda ki jai, Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki jai, Shri Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana namaskrityam naranchaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jai mudiret. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 58, text number 32. I think 32, right? I was planning to do 33 mainly, but I thought 30. Like the story starts from 30. Okay. Nagna jin nama kaushalya आसिद राजति धार्मिकः तस्या सत्या भवत् कन्या देवी नग्ना जिति नृपा नग्ना जिन्नाम कौशल्या आसिद राजति धार्मिका तस्या सत्या भवत् कन्या देवी नाग्ना जिति नृपा नग्ना जिन्नाम कौशल्या Nagna jinnama kaushalya Anything else? Nagna jinnama kaushalya asid rajati dharmika Nagnachit Nagnachit Nama named Kaushalya, ruler of Kaushalya, Ayodhya. Asit, there was. Raja, a king. Ati, very. Dharmikaha, religious. Tasya, his. Satya, Satya. Abhavat, there was. Kanya, a daughter. Devi, lovely. Nagnajiti, Nagnajiti, also called Nagnajiti. Nripa, O king. Translation by disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation: O king, Nagnajit, the very pious king of Kaushalya, had a lovely daughter named Satya or Nagnajiti. It's very our acharyas give a very short commentary. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur makes the point: the sixth marriage is described. Nagnajit was the king of Ayodhya. His daughter was called Satya. So up to this point, we have discussed. Like first, we started with Rukmini, then Satyabhama, then Jambavati. So that's three. Then in this chapter, we read about the Kalindi, then Mitravinda, and sixth is Nagnajiti. This is the sixth. So hence Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said the sixth marriage is described. Jiva Goswami says Nagnajit was dedicated to Bhagavad Dharma, Ati Dharmikaha. So particularly the word Jiva Goswami is stressing here is Ati Dharmika. Ati means very, Dharma, very religious. Right? So we'll discuss this in relationship with the next verse, how the king Nagnajit was Ati Dharmika, very religious. And Sanatan Goswami says Nagnajit was dedicated to Bhagavad Dharma, Ati Dharmikaha. Nagnajit means he who conquers even the naked Jains. O king, you know the beauty and good conduct of princesses. Why do you have to describe it? We'll read one more. Discuss both the verses. 33. Natam shekur nripavodham ajitva sapta go vrishan tikshna shringan sudurdarshan virya gandha sahan khalan. Translation. The kings who came as suitors were not allowed to marry her unless they could subdue 7 sharp-horned bulls. These bulls were extremely vicious and uncontrollable, and they could not tolerate even the smell of warriors. Jiva Goswami's commentary here. And though the father wanted to give his daughter to the Lord, because of fear of rivals like Jarasan, he devised a method for her marriage. Go Vrashan simply means bulls, using 2 words, or the best bulls, or the most uncontrollable bulls among all the cattle. Without tying up Ajitva, the bulls could not marry. Without tying up the bulls, they could not marry her. The bulls were violent, having the nature of demons. In the 2nd canto, these bulls are counted among the demons. It is stated there that after being killed by the power of the Lord's touch, they attain liberation. Om Jnanatimmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsya. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone can please join. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine. Okay. So now we are starting the next. So this chapter is titled the princesses that Krishna married. So we have discussed in this chapter Kalindi, Mitraminda, and this third one, Nagnajiti, whose name is also Satya. And she is the daughter of Nagnajit. And the previous verse said that he was Ati Dharmika, or he followed the Bhagavad Dharma. And the point that's actually explained in this text 33 is the king who came as suitors were not allowed to marry her unless they could subdue 7 sharp-horned bulls. So this word actually is giving, this verse says 4 different qualities of the bull. One is says Tikshna Shringan. So that is sharp horns. Then Su Durdarshan. They are uncontrollable. Then third one is Khalan, means vicious or violent, like the nature of demons. And the fourth one is Virya Gandha Ashan, which that means that they could not even tolerate the smell of warriors. So imagine, like, animals, they get, they may have something that agitates them. And different animals have different things. And you will get that immediately they get like, angry or agitated. And these bulls, even the smell of any warrior coming, and they was to get like, they could not tolerate that smell. So already they are described as a sharp horn, uncontrollable, violent, and now if anyone comes closer, then they get more and more violent, that they could not tolerate the smell. So why did king actually, have this? So Jiva Goswami is making the point that the king devised a method for her marriage, and this method, that only a person who could actually conquer these 7 most violent, like the particular word there is used that Jiva Goswami is saying Go Vrishan. So actually Go Vrishan, both are referring to bulls, but it means the best of all bulls. So why did the king actually select these bulls and saying that only a person who can conquer all the 7 bulls will actually be qualified to marry his daughter, right? And the point is, and we'll read further in this pastime, that how the king, he knew he wanted only Krishna as his son-in-law, right? So he was like, yes, only Krishna is going to be my son-in-law. And hence Jiva Goswami is making the point. Because of fear of rivals like Jarasan, he did not want other kings, like Jarasan, also super powerful king. He did not want other kings to actually come and conquer, over or gain victory over his plan and then be qualified to marry his daughter. And he was like, only Krishna. And hence he selected something which was unconquerable. His plan was, he devised a plan which was unconquerable. And then we'll see further how the story continues, and how we see the devotion of Nagnajit, how he offers prayers when Krishna comes, and so on. But the verse in the previous is Ati Dharmikaha. Ati Dharmika. Normally when we think of person, oh, he's very religious. Very religious. Normally, at least in India, the conception would be like, oh, someone who is doing a lot of yagyas, and he's, like the concept of religion. But here, Ati Dharmika is that having that firm conviction that only Krishna, I want only Krishna as my son-in-law. Right? And the point I want to focus today is that how, because of the fear of rivals like Jarasandha, he devised this unconquerable plan. Right? And I was thinking about this aspect of fear, the importance of fear in our spiritual life. Okay? So normally, when we talk of, we say like we are subjected to 4 aspects, right? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending or fearing. And Prabhupada says of all these, the fear is one which is 24/7. It's always there, 24/7. In the sense that fear is one that's always there, constantly. We always have fear. I was recently giving a class in one of our groups, and I said, I asked the question, so what are we fearful of? And then one person immediately said, the new government that's coming in. It's interesting they made that point. But the aspect of fear, right? Fear. So we all have fear of so many things, and finally fear of death, and fear of losing our loved ones. Right? But when you talk of importance of fear in bhakti, right, that fear is not the fear of like losing some material attachments. Like, oh, I have this property and I have the fear of losing this property. Actually, there's a section in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and it comes in when you talk of the appearance of Lord Krishna. Right? In that section, the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, because we know how Devaki, she had those 6 sons who were actually killed by Kamsa, and the 7th one was Balaram, who was transferred to Rohini, and then the 8th was Krishna himself. So in that section, when it actually says, when Krishna entered into the heart of Devaki, like in that section is explained, that was like her spiritual initiation, the Krishna, when Krishna is placed into the heart of someone in the spiritual. But Devaki, when Krishna entered into the heart of Devaki, then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and Prabhupada in his commentary also explains that point from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and he talks of the importance of fear in our path of bhakti. Right? So I'm going to read that paragraph. It's a beautiful section. So he says, Thus situated in devotional service, a devotee, although in the material world, is not in the material world. So although he is here, but he is actually, his consciousness is completely spiritual. He is transcendently situated because he's engaging in different processes, 9 different processes of bhakti. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Then further he says, yet a devotee always fears. Always fears. And what is it? Prabhupada says in quotes, because I am associated with the material world, so many contaminations affect me. Therefore, he is always alert in fear, which gradually diminishes his material association. And this point is actually explained further in the sense that because Marichi is actually born of Brahma, and he is representing the aspect of mind. And who are the sons of the mind? And then our acharyas explain that the sons are Kam, Krodh, Lobha, Moha, Maya, Matsarya. Right? They're basically lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, illusion. These are the sons of the mind. Right? So these 6 sons of Devaki, one way, represents these 6 aspects of the mind. Right? And how did Devaki conquer? And Devaki herself is symbolically represented as Bhakti. Right? So how did Devaki conquer these 6 anarthas of Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Matsarya, etc.? By fear of Kamsa. Because she had constant fear of Kamsa, that fear purified her of these 6 anarthas. So Prabhupada says further, symbolically, Mother Devaki's constant fear of Kamsa was purifying her. Right? Further he says, a pure devotee should always fear material association. And in this way, all the asuras of material association will be killed, as the Sad Garbhasuras were killed by Kamsa. So Kamsa represents that fear of material existence. So fear of material existence kills those sons of the mind, lust, anger, etc. It is said that from the mind, Marichi appears. In other words, Marichi is an incarnation of the mind. I already mentioned that. Marichi has 6 sons, Kam, Krodh, Lobha, Moha, Mada and Matsarya, lust, anger, greed, illusion, madness and envy. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in pure devotional service. The Supreme Person, Devaki symbolically represents Bhakti, and Kamsa symbolically represents material fear. When a pure devotee, Prabhupada is saying, when a pure devotee always fears material association, his real position of Bhakti is manifested. When a pure devotee always fears material association, his real position of Bhakti is manifested, and he naturally becomes uninterested in material enjoyment. When the 6 sons of Marichi are killed by such fear, and one is freed from material contamination, within the womb of Bhakti, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears. And thus the 7th pregnancy of Devaki signifies the appearance of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay? So, this aspect of fear. So as I mentioned earlier, we may have fear. We have fear in this world of losing our possessions, losing our loved ones, fear of death, fear of falling, having all these diseases. All this fear is there. But like every emotion in this world has a positive spiritual emotion, similarly fear also has a positive spiritual aspect. And that fear is always, what we read in that purport, he says, always fear of material association. That we have the thinking that, oh, Maya is so strong. I have to always be cautious. Always have that fear. Like I've heard that often that point is made that Prabhupada said, the problem is my disciples are not sufficiently fearful of Maya. Right? We take Maya cheaply. Right? It's okay. Once in a while I can do this. Once in a while I can do this. But that fear, Prabhupada is saying, as we are always fearful, and that fear. So this fear is not like the fear of material attachments, but this is the fear of losing the association of devotees or losing the service to Radha Golokananda. And that kind of association is very, very purifying, right? As in the story of Kamsa. So it's nice, like I was thinking about this point that, like as soon as we come to the path of bhakti and we start, relishing devotee association, we come and we say, wow, so nice kirtan, so nice katha, so nice prasadam, right? And then when we are one way, relishing that association, right? Then naturally we feel that, oh, I don't want to lose this. I don't want to lose this, right? But because at the same time we are not so cautious about how strong Maya is, then we take it lightly. Oh, it's okay. I will get devotee association, but it's not so cheap. I was talking to one brahmachari in Vrindavan when we were there, and he has been in Vrindavan for 19 years. And he was actually explaining that, in my 19 years here, living in the Dham in Vrindavan, the brahmachari in Krishna Valam temple, you're saying over the years, I've seen so many people, so many devotees, devotees practicing Krishna consciousness, who come to Vrindavan and to stay in Vrindavan. But they come to Vrindavan and after 6 months, after 1 year, and those who are brahmacharis, they take to grahastha ashram. Or those who are grahasthas, they get deviated from the path. And he was making the point that he has seen so many examples, and he was saying that once we come to Vrindavan, to stay, then after some time what happens? We tend to take things for granted. Oh, I know this devotee. He's not such a great devotee. I mean, he's doing nice seva, but he has these offenses, or he has these anarthas. And as soon as we become complacent and start seeing faults in other devotees, immediately Vrindavan Dham does not allow us to continue. And when he said that point, it was like very eye-opening that, yes, Vrindavan we want to go as frequently as ever, but we want to go there, get as much association, offer our prayers, get purified, but not live there unless, our Guru Maharaj has given us a service there in Vrindavan. Because Vrindavan is, like we say, a double-sided sword. One side, if you are pakka in your bhakti, you can progress very fast. On the other side, if you make an offense, then the other side of the sword can hit us. Right? So he was making the point, and I was thinking that, yes, this is our path of bhakti. We have to be like so cautious of not get complacent of other devotees, not get complacent of just like, oh, yeah, it's okay, this devotee, yeah, he's good, but he has these faults, etc., etc. And I was thinking how this fear of losing the association of devotees can always keep us cautious on the path. Like even protect us from Vaishnava aparadha. Because if we are always fearful, oh, maybe I'll lose the association, then even with dealing with devotees, we'll be like, oh, maybe I should, I don't agree with his point, but maybe, I have to be careful, so that I don't commit any Vaishnava aparadha, So, yeah, so that was the point I was thinking. And also in Vrindavan, I had this, when you go to Vrindavan, we always have these monkeys of Vrindavan, right? The famous monkeys of Vrindavan. You go, and especially if you go in the main town near Loy Bazaar, like Radha Raman temple, the monkeys are like, just like, anything you're carrying, within a second, gone. And this time we were just walking to Radha Raman temple, and a few devotees of us were walking. And then just I saw one family walking in front of me, one Indian family. They're walking in front of me, and that Mataji who was, she had like a big bag. It was like quite like maybe a bag of this size. And she was just like casually holding it. And immediately, like just she was like maybe 3 feet in front of me. So quickly, a monkey came and grabbed the whole bag and ran away. And we see that in Vrindavan, right? It's like they take cell phones. It's common you go to Radharaman, you'll see monkeys sitting with cell phones, biting the cell phone, biting glasses. And it's just so common, right? I was thinking like, why Vrindavan these monkeys? But I was thinking of this point, that because the monkeys are there, we are always cautious. I mean, those who know. I mean, that family and friend, they did not know how monkeys are, so quick and they can take away. Like those who know, they are so cautious. Like even glasses. Like glasses is like, you cannot wear glasses in those places. But the point I was thinking is like, how with monkeys, it's like you always have to be cautious. Like any moment they can come and take away anything. Like Prabhuji was there. We were, Mahatma Prabhu was with us, and we were having prasadam in the front of Krishna Balaram temple, just opposite that Prabhupada Samadhi Mandir. And they were serving khichdi prasadam, and we had. And there is, I don't know how many of you ever had, but the Mangla Sweets Sandesh from Krishna Balaram. And personally, I feel like the best sweet. I mean, it's best in that, I feel it's so special. There's nothing that can beat that Sandesh that is offered to Krishna Balaram from Mangla. And it's not easy to get because in the morning they have all these lines and you have to stand in the line during Guru Puja. So during Kartik, I was like, I wanted to, honor that prasadam, but during Kartik it was like impossible. Like half an hour before there's a line all the way go to the gate. So after Kartik we were there, so I said, okay, let's get. So I stood in a line, it wasn't so long, but we got that. And then I got in a box because I said like, other devotees that I will share. So we are standing and then we are honoring Khichdi Prasadam and I had the box and it was so quick. I saw a monkey right in front of me, almost like I didn't see him before, but right in front of me, and I had a Khichdi and I had this plastic box of like the Sandesh Mahaprasadam from Krishna Balaram. And I was just like, I was eating and all of a sudden like so quick he came, grabbed that Mahaprasadam and went away. I was like, oh no, I lost it. Like, and it was our last day in Vrindavan. I was like, oh, the Mahaprasadam from Krishna Balaram. And anyway, like, and the story continued, like he took the whole bag, it was in a plastic bag. And then he went on top of the roof, and then he left the bag and he went away. So he didn't even like open the bag. And Prabhuji was there. I climbed on top of the roof and got that Mahaprasadam. But the point is like how these monkeys, they make us like so cautious. Like every time you have to be cautious. Oh, he'll take my glasses, he'll take my bag, he'll take this, And that kind of alertness, which is actually represented here, the point is made about fear. Always being fear that, oh, if I do this, I may lose the association with devotees. If I do that. So constantly having that positive kind of fear of losing devotee association, that can purify us that will purify us from these 6 anarthas of Kam, Krodh, Lobha Maya, Moha Maya, etc. And that's what is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explaining in that 10th canto purport that we read. And similarly here I was thinking, and the reason I went to this whole point is how Nagnajit, he actually wanted Krishna as a son-in-law. That was his desire. My daughter should marry only Krishna. And because of that, and he did not want others, like he did not want Jarasan to come. So because of that fear of Jarasan, he actually devised a plan which was unconquerable. So similarly in our bhakti, that fear of material existence should be an impetus for us to actually devise a plan which is unconquerable, that Maya cannot conquer, in the sense that our bhakti should be actually Tivra. Bhagavatam uses the word Tivra. Right? And it's interesting that even Rupa Goswami defines the kind of bhakti we are aspiring for. It's pure devotional service. Anya Bhilasita Sunya. Right? But even we see Bhagavatam, the example of like Dhruva Maharaj. Right? And his motivation was material. He wanted a kingdom greater than Brahmaji. But because he came in contact with Narad Muni, and his bhakti was tivra, like we read in the 4th canto, how like, I always forget the sequence. First 3 months he had, what was this? Fruits and roots, right? And then next 3 months he had only water, something like that. And next 3 months he only took a breath like once in 3 months and so on, like so intense. Right? And that actually shows that even though our motivation may not be pure, but if our bhakti is tivra, then that will actually attract Krishna. And in Dhruva Maharaj's case, we see how Krishna was attracted. though his motivation was not. And hence Bhagavatam makes the point, akama sarvo kama va, moksha kama udare. Even you have all material there, still engage in tivra bhakti. And then by that tivra bhakti, then our motivation will get purified. And I mean, certainly the point is there that I'm talking of because we have received the pure seed from Srila Prabhupada. If your initial seed of bhakti that you have received is not from a pure, then if your motivations are here and there, you have, I want to be better than this other devotee. Like if your motivation envious, then then it may not work. But if you have received that seed, the pure seed, and still we have some material attachments, but we want to progress, then that tivra, that intensity in bhakti will purify us of those wrong motivations, will actually protect us from committing Vaishnava aparadhas, and that will actually purify us. Even Rupa Goswami Chaitanya Charitamrita, he talks about this when he compares the bhakti to like planting a seed, right? He says you have to plant the seed, just like when you plant a seed, then every day you have to do Shravan Adi Jal. Jal means water. Shravan Adi. You have to water the seed. And what is the water? Shravan Adi. You have to hear every day. Like when you're growing a plant, if you just ignore it for like, it's okay, 2-3 days, and then immediately the plant is drying out. Right? So every day you have to water. Right? So that's the process Rupa Goswami says. And as soon as every day you're watering, then the soil is fertile. Like soil has to be fertile. That means the heart should have that mood of gratitude. The heart should have the good qualities that are explained throughout Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Again and again Krishna explains, these are the qualities, develop these qualities. That makes the heart fertile. So heart is fertile. Every day you're watering. Then what happens? The first 2 leaves pops up. Right? The seed germinates and you have those 2 leaves. And what are those 2 leaves? Then we know Nectar of Devotion says Kleshagni and Shubhada. Right? All the kleshas are burnt away and auspiciousness and so on. But when he says, when we are continuing the growth, then immediately he makes a point what? We have to make a fence. Right? We have to protect that seed. And also we have to be careful of weeds. Because sometimes we may be watering the weed instead of the actual plant. Right? So, and then we may not even realize that, I'm watering the weed. Right? So keeping always conscious that, am I watering bhakti seed or am I watering the weeds? And then having the fence of protecting us from any aparadhas. Right? Aparadhas. So, and then he says, if these 2 are there, then every day you water, then the plant can grow further. So similarly, this point about this fear, how this positive kind of fear is actually so conducive to our bhakti, and this fear will actually protect us, purify us, and so I just was relating the whole thing about Nagnajit having that fear of rivals like Jarasan and comparing that with our path of bhakti. So let me see any. Yes, Bruce.
There's an English aphorism, fears rush in where angels fear to tread. So fools are willing to engage in so many activities that angels would never do. So fools rush in where angels fear to tread. So we as devotees should have that attitude that, that it's foolish for us to think we can rush in and rush into this material world, because the pure devotees, they fear to tread. If the pure devotees are fearing to tread that path, how much more so for us?
It's amazing that purport Prabhupada says the pure devotee is always fearing material association. Fearing material association. How Maya could be so strong. And
what is the difference? You alluded to this some, between this fear that a pure devotee has and what we consider just fear. I mean, fear sometimes can be paralyzing. People are afraid of this or afraid of that. So positive fear, how does that look? I mean, in compared to paralyzing fear in this, someone's afraid of doing something, and it's almost a phobia people have, but the pure devotee doesn't have a phobia about the material world, but it's a fear which is healthy. So how do we distinguish that? I mean, what does that look like?
So, what does that look like? So, I'll just share a few thoughts I'm thinking right now. So, as I mentioned, like normally our fear is I bought a new car, someone will hit my car, and things like that. Normally we fear those things, material property, losing loved ones, etc. And when we talk of this positive kind of fear, anyway, I should mention, okay, so this is material fear. And I have heard certain devotees saying, like, okay, I'm not going to do the seva, maybe some personal service to Guru because I am fearful that I will commit offenses. So that is one aspect which is not conducive to bhakti because you're not taking up the path of bhakti because, of the fear of offenses. But at the same time, there is this aspect that, yes, I will do it, but just do it cautiously. So that, I feel like spiritual fear is more, like Prabhupada used the word alert or cautious. So I would say that kind of fear is not the material fear that we experience that is pulling us down, but the spiritual fear is how we relate it to being cautious, and like the monkey example, always be aware, aware. We are still chanting, we are going to Vrindavan, we are chanting our rounds, we are trying to focus on Radha Krishna, meditate, see this beautiful form, but we are always cautious. So I think that cautious, that alertness is kind of the spiritual fear that we are talking about.
It's consciousness. Krishna consciousness isn't just thinking about Krishna, but it's having this alertness in our life. So we don't go around in a fog thinking that, whatever. But we're alert. Very nice point. Thank you.
Any other points? Okay. So thank you so much. We'll end here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you all so much. Hare Krishna.
Nice class.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Nandar Agom Vikamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami pritimanti pasyanti panti kayanti chiram naganti ananda chinmaya sadhu jala vigrahasya govindam adipurusham amaham bhajami govindam adipurusham amaham bhajami govindam adipurusham amaham bhajami govindam adipurusham amaham bhajami govindam adipurusham amaham bhajami.
He has an emergency meeting with the GBC. Won't tell anybody what it is. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koramore Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koramore Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koramore Toma Bina Kedayalu Jagat Samsare Toma Bina Kedayalu Jagat Samsare Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara 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 Mosama Patita Prabhu Napai Beara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napai Beara Ha ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Aha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Aha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Aha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Balokana Koro Ami Koro Ami Moroduki Doya Koro Sita Pati Advaita Gosai Doya Koro Sita Pati Advaita Gosai Doya Korosita Pati Advaita Gosai Doya Korosita Pati Advaita Gosai Tava Kripa Bale Pai Chaitanya Nitai Tava Kripa Bale Pai Chaitanya Nitai Nahaswarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunath Sanatana Rupa Raghunath Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunath Rupa Raghunath Bhatta Yuga Sri Jiva Prabhu Lokanath Bhatta Yuga Sri Jiva Prabhu Lokanath Doya Koro Charya Prabhu Srinivas Doya Koro Shriya Charya Prabhu Srinivas Doya Koro Shriya Charya Prabhu Srinivas Doya Koro Shriya Charya Prabhu Srinivas Ramachandra Sangamage Narotamodas Ramachandra Sangamage Narotamodas Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koramore Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koramore Toma Bina Kedayalu Jagat Samsare Toma Bina Kedayalu Jagat Samsare Jaya Gornitai, Jaya Gornitai, Jaya Gornitai, Jaya Gornitai, Jaya Gornitai, Gornitai, Jaya Gornitai, Haribo, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Haribo, Haribo, Haribo Nitai Gaur, Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Radhe Jaya Radha Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda, Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Golokananda. Radhe Jaya Radha Golokananda, Radha Kananda Ram. Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Giri Govardhan, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Shri Gaura Tai ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Golokananda ki jai. My dear Lord, please be merciful to me, because who can be more merciful than your Lordship within these three worlds? Your incarnation is just to reclaim the conditioned fallen souls, but I assure you that you will not find a more fallen soul than me. Therefore, my claim is first. My dear Lord Nityananda, you are always joyful in spiritual bliss. Since you will always appear very happy, I have come to you because I am most unhappy. If you kindly put your glance over me, I may also become happy. My dear Advaita Prabhu, husband of Sita, you are so kind. Please be kind to me. If you are kind to me, naturally Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda will also be kind to me. I pray for the mercy of Swarup Damodar, the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Bhatta Raghunath Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, and Lokanath Prabhu. I, Narottam Das, pray to the merciful Srinivasa Acharya, and I always desire the company of Ramachandra Kaviraj. Chaitodarpanam marjanam bhavavagni nirvapanam Shreya Kairavya Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Sadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Arvidayade Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam. Those scones are really good yesterday. Please. Tattavitani amitasmarane nakala etadrishita vakripa bhagavan mamapi durdaiva midrishami hajjani nanuraga trinadapi sunichena tarorapi suhishuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari Nadanam Najanam Nasundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamae Mama Janmani Janmani Ishre Bhavatad Bhaktir Oitaki Twai Oi Nanda Tanuja Ginharam Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavam Buddha Kribaya Tavapada Pankaja Stita Duli Sadrashim Vichintaya Nayanam Gladashru Daraya Varanam Gad Gadaridaya Gira Pulakarnishitam Vabhukada Tavanama Grahane Bhavishyati Yugayatam Namishena Chakshusha Pravashayatam Shunayatam Aknarvam Govindam Virahena Me Ashlisha Vapadam Ratam Banastumam Adarshanam marmahata karotu va yatatata va vidadatu lampato mat prananatastu sa eva napara. Victory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Oh, my Lord, congregational chanting of your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh, my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw on the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord. I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. Oh, my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up, and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? Oh, Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like